Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and today we're talking about beyond cannibalism. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. Regardless, there's no excuse for handling a traffic issue with violence. So, today we are going to look at there's no excuse for. There is no excuse for. Use there is no excuse for to express that some behavior is totally unacceptable. There is no excuse for. It's like say 뭐뭐는 표명의 여지가 없다. Alright. And the way we use it is there is no excuse for plus verb ing, 동사 ing. So simply, there is no excuse for lying. 거짓말은 변명의 여지가 없다. There is no excuse for being late. All right. Sometimes. Obviously, if you might have a good reason. So let's look at our examples in our book. If you know that something does not belong to you, there is no excuse for taking it. So 만약에 당신이 어떤 것이 당신의 것이 아니라는 것을 안다면 그것을 받아들일 변명의 여지가 없다. So if it doesn't belong to you, you should not touch it. There is no excuse for taking it. Or there is no excuse for lying to investors about your company's financial condition. 당신의 회사의 재정 상태에 대해 투자자들에게 거짓말을 하는 것은 변명의 유지가 없다. Alright? You need to be honest with your investors. You need to tell the truth. Otherwise, your business could be in a worse off state than what it was before investors. So there is no excuse. We use this expression in very strong situations, like including when we're upset or angry, or when something is extremely serious. Let's look at 2번. The last thing they need is bad PR from a CEO who seems to be dabbling in cannibalism. The last thing one needs is our next language focused. So use the last thing one needs to express that something is not only unnecessary, but very undesirable. So the way I could explain it simply, like 절대 필요 없다. 절대 필요 없다. I really don't need this. Or 없어야 하다. Like, this is something I do not need in my life. So Nick has already had too much to drink. And the last thing he needs is another beer. So 닉은 이미 술을 너무 많이 마셨고 그가 가장 필요한 것은 맥주 한 잔이다. Alright, the last thing he needs. So meaning he really doesn't need another beer. Do not give him more beer. Or the last thing anybody needs is a stalker. It's very extreme. Yes. So stalker는 절대 필요 없어요. 필요한 사람 없어요. Nobody needs a stalker. So nobody needs a stalker, because stalkers are trouble. So another example might be, let's say I'm so busy. The last thing I need is more work. All right, I'm just so busy these days. I don't need more work. Now, we use this expression, the last thing anybody needs, in times of seriousness, in times of frustration, in times of stress. We use it during that period. Now, let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. Even if you're busy, there's no excuse for not. So there's no excuse for was our first language focus. Remembering 변명의 여지가 없다. There's no excuse for verb ing. Or there's also no excuse for 대명사. There's no excuse for your behavior. There's no excuse for your attitude. 이렇게. 그래서 even if you're busy, there's no excuse for not. An example, letting me know you're going to be late. 뭐 바빠도 늦는다는 걸 알려주지 않을 이유가 없다. 바빠도 저도 바빠요. 근데 늦는다는 걸 알려주지 않을 이유가 없어요. 그래서 앞으로 알아줘야 해요. You have to tell me when you're going to be late. 2번. Should apologize because there's no excuse for So who, 누구? I should apologize because there's no excuse for lying to you. No excuse for lying to you. 당신에게 거짓말을 하는 것은 변명의 유지가 없기 때문에 저는 사과해야 합니다. Yes, unless it's a white lie. 3번. The last thing this country needs. So the last thing what one needs. Remember, 필요 없다. 절대 필요 없습니다. So the last thing this country needs, let's say Korea needs, is, well, another war. 이 나라는 또 다른 전쟁을 필요하지 않는다. Of course. And hopefully that never happens. 4번. The last thing I need right now is 정말 저는 너무 바빠요. 그래서 지금 당장 필요한 건 두통이에요. 너무 바빠서 두통 생기면 스트레스 더 받을 거야. Alright, the last thing one needs right now. Now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. Are many people buying plant-based meat products in your country? Which brands are most popular? 당신의 나라에서는 한국에서는 많은 사람들이 식물성 유기류 제품을 사요. 어떤 브랜드가 가장 인기가 있나요? I think many people these days are becoming vegetarians. So this has made the demand for plant-based products and vegetarian menus at restaurants become more prominent in today's society. For example, like I mentioned before, the plant-based meat burger in no brand burger shops, they're quite popular. But also 원래 한국에서는 비빔밥 고기 있는데 그냥 어떤 비빔밥 고기 없어요. So there have been vegetarian friendly meals for a very long time, but I think these days becoming a vegetarian and becoming vegan is becoming more popular. Therefore, restaurants and supermarkets need to start introducing more plant-based meals. 2번. If you want to check on the financial fundamentals of a company, how can this be done? Are there websites for this purpose? I didn't know about this, but I did do some research. And what they say is you need to understand the company. It is very important that you understand the company in which you intend to invest. So if you're wanting to invest, you should really look at the background of the company. You should study the financial reports of the company if they can give it to you. Check if there's any debt. Find the company's competitors and see where they rank amongst their competitors. Analyze the future prospects and review all the aspects from time to time. This is the best way you can check the financial fundamentals of a company. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's lesson, and I'll see you on the next lesson.
Road rage.
Road rage.
Set somebody off.
Set somebody off.
Cut somebody off.
Cut somebody off.
Disposition.
Disposition.
Pricing power.
Pricing power.
Dabble.
Dabble.